Zelda! Come here, come here. Hi, you want to be in the video? So, everyone say hi, Zelda! She says, it wasn't me. Hi. Who just pooped? Anyway, thank you for joining me in my second sketchbook video. I hope you enjoy, and alrighty guys, let's get started. A little pressed flower in there. But yeah, so it's May 30th, 2018, and I had just moved in with Jamie. Yeah, I just moved into Jamie. Jamie and I had just moved in together, and I was also ready to give my 2 weeks at where I was working at the grocery store. And so, yeah, we're just sketching. I also went to, it's called The Farm. It's like a summer class workshop thing that's actually really, it's really cool. And so I'm always the person to like sketch the people as we're sitting, because there was a writing circle every morning. And so we had to write, you know, notes and stuff every morning. And I would sit there and doodle and write, and you know, everyone shared, and it's a really actually awesome experience. And for some reason, every time I go there, I always want to do like an ABC book, and on the way home I always like write out the ABCs and think of ideas and then do nothing about it, and I don't know why. But I was also on a enamel pin kick to where I think I had just designed my Team Witch, and so this was the backing card because I wanted it to be beautiful. And so I was on a enamel pin kick, and I was trying to come up with different designs for enamel pins that actually like never took them any further than sketches. And now it's also July, so it's closer to Jamie's birthday, and I'm sketching out Jamie's birthday present, because that's what he gets from me, is artwork. But yeah, here's me trying to like Team Princess and Team Mermaid. And yeah, just taking notes, middle of summer. And just like planning things. Yeah, so I had just started Starbucks because it was the apron model that I'd written down. Had left my job because it sucked. And I remember having dreams like immediately when I started working at Starbucks, just because it's so intense. Because the one I worked at had a drive-through, and no one tells you that drive-throughs are killer, man. And this one was in a very busy area, so it was very busy, and I remember being exhausted every single day. I also started getting into tarot cards. Not like just getting into them, but I had, I was like, I actually want to learn what they mean. So I had an app that would, man, I think it's called Mystic Mondays, but essentially it's just like an app where you click your card of the day. And so I would take that and I would write notes down with it. And kind of reflect on it and learn the card at the same time. But I just kept pulling the devil card, and it's materialistic and stuff like that. And it was definitely like I would work all day and I would come home and I would just sit on my phone because I had no energy for anything. And like I would try to, you know, draw and do things, but it was definitely a period of my life where I just had no, like zero energy. And so I just took the devil card to kind of be like, you know, this isn't good, Caroline, but I just didn't have it in me, man. Now we're in August, and I always want to make dresses. I just go through these cycles of I want to sew, I want to draw. So Queen Flea Makers Market this was the first market, and I remember seeing, I don't even know how I came across it. And I can't remember if this was the year. This might have been 2018, I think, was the year where any and all markets, I was like, I'm gonna just try them out and do them and learn and make mistakes. And so I think I was just like knee deep in markets, and that's how I just happened to like hear about it. And it was their first market, so I took it upon myself like a nut to just like design a new poster, a maker's market. And it was, I wrote down all the words, but it was like made in the South, handcrafted goods that celebrate individuality, romance, and magic. And I was like, I feel this. And so I just worked on a poster, and I was like, hey, I drew this if you want to use it. And they did. And it actually ended up, they commissioned me for a few other posters as well, which was pretty cool. It just happened, like, because I was just so excited about it, and it was a fun market. But yeah, just sketching. I still like how these came out. Because I think I was trying to make a sticker sheet and I just didn't take it anywhere. Story of my life. But yeah, you can see I put a lot of work into it. I just kept like working on it for some reason. Me planning my booth, because again, I was doing so many markets. And then I was like, I want to make a part-time princess crest because I have my different teams, which I'm trying to not necessarily phase out, but it was just definitely like the first thing when I first graduated in 2017, it was like, okay, team unicorn, team princess, team mermaid, team witch. So now I'm just trying to make it less that. It gives me more freedom without limiting myself in that. And then I made a cool stamp for myself, and I still have it. But it says Caroline Kerrigan, but my last name changed now, so I either need to make a new one or change it up. I was thinking I could just like take out, because it's a stamp, a rubber stamp, and just like take off my name completely. But I don't I usually use the stamp for like back of prints, which now I figure out how to print it instead of stamping it. And again, trying to like make a pin, because I loved how my team witch came out, and I wanted to make beautiful enamel pins. And then here I'm getting into September. I always try planning Inktober. Oh my gosh, I got engaged this fall. So I wasn't engaged yet, but Jamie was like, he must have asked me. I must have written it somewhere. But Jamie essentially asked me to marry him after breakfast one morning, and I was like, okay, but where's the ring? And he said, well, I figured you could pick it out. And I said, okay, well, I'll pick it out, and then you're gonna ask me again when I'm not sitting in my underwear and you don't have a ring. And so we actually found, or maybe this might have just been me like sketching out like what I thought I wanted, because visual person, whatever, and looking at rings, like they all just start looking the same after a while. Oh, but yeah, someone had put out their list, their Inktober list, so I was trying to like go ahead and pre-sketch it. And what always happens is I like sketch and I'm like, I want to do something else, I'm tired of this for Inktober. So then I was like, okay, like I want to have a witch. And I want it to be fun, because like, I'm sketching, it's like picture frame. I'm like, this is lame, I just wasn't really pushing myself. And so like second round, right? So yeah, so like mason jar, making strawberry jam, instead of just like, here's a mason jar. And then, yeah, I just really got into it and I was like, okay, I want like a cute witch and a blacksmith. How do I turn that into like a little, and I was like, because it was again like September, I was like, I got plenty of time. I'll go ahead and like super sketch these out so that when Inktober comes around, I can just like ink them. And I still love how they came out. Like they're sketches obviously, so like there's definitely some mistakes, but so like this one was terracotta, and I had terracotta pots and some succulents, so there'd be succulents in the window. And then cardigan, she's wearing a cardigan, I don't know. You know, like these Inktober prompt lists are just random. And then I started losing steam again because, you know, you go so hard, you're gonna burn out. And then redrew mason jar for the strawberry jam. Like they're making it together and they're so cute. And then fireflies, like catching fireflies, looking for mushrooms. But it's just these words like breeze, like, okay, like, I mean, I understand they're open-ended so that you can do honestly anything, but for me it's just like, and that's why I try to put a story to it, because otherwise I just, again, I get bored and I give up. This is why Inktober is so hard, and it's just hard. Like, kudos to you if you go all out and you make these beautiful things, but man, it is hard. So then I switched gears again. I'm like, what? And here it is, like the 23rd of September. So October's in what, 10 days? Like coming up with a new idea. And then I was like, I'm just gonna sketch. Like, I don't know what I'm doing anymore. And then October 1st, look at, completely different from anything you saw besides it's a witch. And I just like, I don't even think I followed a prompt list at this point. But yeah, so here's our witch. And here's our dude. And I'm so bad at drawing guys. And I think it's a little out of order because usually in Inktober I'll just kind of like do things, but, and I don't even think I used this one. I don't remember where I posted it to anymore, but I think I used a version of this one. My Inktober turned into the witch. A spell goes wrong or a potion goes wrong and she gets a big hole in her cauldron, and so she has to go to the blacksmith to get it fixed. And yeah, this is so, it's all just, again, it's my sketchbook, but he I don't know. So I was just like, okay, here he is checking it out, and here he is fixing it. And then I think it actually continues in another sketchbook, because that is the end of that one. But they fall in love and live happily ever after. And that's their story. And it was fun. It's just like, I did all this planning, and this is, you know, with sketchbooks over, but I did all this planning before. So it kind of helped me develop my characters a little bit, but when it came to the actual Inktober, like I was really, I don't know, like, because now I was doing it either the day of, or, you know, it took a few days or whatever. And I don't know, I always do too much for Inktober and I usually don't finish, or it doesn't look the way I want it to. So maybe, I don't know, it's just too much. So that's why this last year I did like a small, and even then I didn't finish it, so. And I'm not, like, I love comics and stories and all that, and I just don't know how to, like, I haven't figured out my way of telling stories. So, yeah. And that's it. Thank you for joining me on my second sketchbook tour. 2 thumbs up.